Well, the S&P continues to recover as technology stocks rally after a turbulent stretch. My next guest says we are seeing a growing divergence in credit spreads across sectors exposed to AI disruption. For more perspective, I'm joined now by Adrienne Young, SVP and Director in Canadian Corporate Credit Research at Franklin Templeton, and a Team Canada hockey fan. Go Canada, right?
Yeah.
All right, let's talk some of the numbers. You're talking about the divergence in credit spreads. Where are we seeing that the most?
Thus far, we aren't really seeing it in Canada. We are seeing it in the United States. We saw, for example, some of the insurance brokers widen out by, I think, 10, 12 basis points last week in the US. We're getting these headlines fairly regularly lately, and they are creating a bit of dispersion. Finally, what we're anticipating here is that this is going to bleed into more into more sectors of the Canadian economy, and we're going to begin to see that dispersion in Canadian credit spreads as well.
Where are you expecting to see it to bleed into in Canada?
Well, we don't have a big tech sector here that we can invest in on the credit side. We do have some retail names, and we may see some there. The banks will see various effects from AI, and the effects of AI can be positive and they can be negative. For the banks, you might see lower expenses, especially back office expenses. The insurance companies may see a little bit of movement. The real physical assets, I think we're going to see less exposure in the immediate term. The pipelines, the oil and gas companies, the utilities, we may see some positive movement there, because as AI grows, so does demand for energy, so does demand for electricity. And so they'll be issuing more, but they'll also be dealing with changes in supply-demand equation.
And so how are you treating this? Where are you putting your focus right now?
Well, right now, credit spreads are very tight, and there is not a lot of dispersion. So we're taking this opportunity to be very thorough in our credit work, thinking about what names we like, where the best quality credits are. We're being very picky and choosy. We're also still thinking a lot about the dispersion in economic outlook between Canada and the United States. Canada, as I said, doesn't really have a huge tech sector. The US is investing very rapidly and very aggressively in its tech sector. That's generating jobs. It's generating the potential for improved productivity, whereas our productivity numbers are not so great. And we don't have shovels in the ground on our national priority projects yet. We don't have a lot of foreign direct investment in Canada yet, because foreign investors are looking at our relationship with the United States and the uncertainty around the CUSMA negotiations coming up this summer. And so they're sensibly waiting it out. So we're anticipating that the US is going to outperform Canada on the GDP front, and we're looking for opportunities to play that within the US credit universe, engineering and construction. I think I mentioned last time I was on. That's still very interesting.
Okay.
US banks are likely to outperform Canadian banks, we think, not because Canadian banks are not very solid. They are. It's just that you have a healthier consumer in the United States. So they're going to be slightly better write-off numbers, slightly better provisioning numbers. And that leads to slightly stronger earnings numbers and better capital generation. Better
or Oh, sorry. Yeah. Well, we'll have to wrap it up there, Adrienne, but thank you very much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Roger.
Adrienne Young is the SVP at Franklin Templeton.